we need to write out our measurements. I am working with the length of 22, waist measurement is 36, the hip circumference is 44 inches. Now the upper thigh, okay, we need to get the upper thigh and also the lower thigh, which is 24 and 20 respectively. Okay, now we are going to be working on the hip measurement, which is 44 inches. To cut the front, it's going to be the hip divided by 4. Hip divided by 4, that's 11 inches. Now to get the crotch length, we have the hip divided by 4 plus 1. So that means 44 divided by 4 will give us 11, plus 1 will give us 12 inches. So that is the crotch length. To fold, now we're going to work with the hip measurement still divided by 4, which is 11, plus ease. Now the ease or extension, as you may have it, you can either use 3 inches, you can use 2.5, you can use 3.5 or 4 inches, depending on the size of whoever you are sewing for. Now I am working with 3.5, so the hip measurement 11 plus 3.5 will give us 14.5 inches. Length is 22 plus 2 will give us 24. Now let's measure it out. Our folding is now 14.5 inches. Because it's going to have a band, so it means you're going to subtract the band of 2 inches first. With my seam allowance, by the time we join it, so I'll make it 1.5, so I have 1.5 inches and the length of 24 inches. The crotch length, which is hip 11 plus 1, so that's 12 inches. Here I'm going to measure out the hip measurement all the way, which is 11, till I get to the crotch point. Now on the crotch point, the ease takes effect. That is where you are allowed to separate your legs, and the ease is 3.5, so at that point it becomes 14.5 inches. You can just draw out an L shape, then measure 1.5 from that corner to slant it out, to cut out the shape. So now we're going to move to the upper thigh. The upper thigh divided by 2 inches, but first we need to get the midpoint of 14.5 that we folded. 14.5, the midpoint is 7.25, so let's measure it out. Midpoint of 7.25. Now the upper thigh is 24, that's divided by 2, 12 inches, so the midpoint will be 6 inches. Just make sure your tape is placed on the line so you can get your 12 inches. You get the 6 inches at the middle, then you measure it out. Then the lower thigh 20 divided by 2 is 10, so your midpoint is 5, and I'll measure 10. Next we're going to measure the waist, and to measure the waist we're going to start from the point here, the crotch area, so we'll measure backward, divided by 4, the waist divided by 4. So now we can connect to the hip and to the waist, just like this, and then the lower thigh will connect to the upper thigh and to the crotch point. Next is to fold the back. To fold the back, we need to make sure we have 1.5 inches at the upper part. Make sure you have 1.5 inches excess when placing the front. And at the crotch area, we're going to measure 1 inch. Your 1 inch continues to the crotch point. Then from the crotch point, you will connect back to your normal measurements. From the base, you are connecting to the 1 inch, just like this. Now, at the back of the folding, you have to measure 2 inches. While cutting the front, remember we did not add any measurement to the folding. We only divide, you're meant to divide your measurement. But here, when cutting the back, you need to add extra 2 inches to whatever you have for the front piece. Now from the waist, you connect to the 1.5 inches, then your crotch area, and then to the base. Now this is what we have. We're going to be working on the front piece alone, front piece only. We're going to cut out the pocket size. Now there are different types of front hip pockets. You can have a slant shape, you can have a curve shape. Just go ahead with whatever shape you want. I am taking out 7 inches by 2 inches and I'm connecting like a V shape. That's the shape of my desired pockets. You can always have your desired choice of pockets. Now to cut our pockets, I'm working with 12 inches by 12 inches. The width is 12 and the length is 12 inches. Now you need to open up the pockets with the right side facing each other. Place underneath the front piece of the trouser, and we're going to cut out the shape. Make sure the front of your pocket is facing each other. Whatever shape you have cut out on your trouser as the pocket shape, you're going to trace it out on the pockets as well. Now this is what it's gonna look like for the right hand side and for the left hand side. Okay, to cut out the band, you need to fold 2 inches. Then the length you add to the waist measurement. The waist is 36, so I'm adding to it to make it 40. Now we move to the sewing. First, you need to iron your stay on the pocket area. Place the front facing the front and sew. So here is the pocket and one side of our main trouser or shorts. Sorry, one side of the pocket and one side of our shorts. Whatever I'm doing on one side, I'll be repeating the same on the other side of the pants. Having done all this, now we're going to place the back piece. This is one side of the back piece as well. Now that has been done, whatever you've done here, repeat the same process on the other side of the pants. Okay, now that we've done that for the both sides, the next thing to do is place each piece. Now we have the back and the back facing each other. We have the the front and the front facing each other. We're going to join the crotch part. Here is the crotch part for the back piece. So you bring the two pieces for the back and join the crotch area only. For the front, we are going to measure our zipper space of 7 inches, and we are going to leave the 7 inches and measure 1 inch. You have to leave 1 inch space for your sewing. So from the 7 inches, join the rest of your crotch area, just like this. That's 1 inch. Now to work on the zipper fly, the next thing we're going to do is measure 1.5 inches. The length that we measured on the main pant is 7 inches, and here it's going to be 9 inches. So make sure you iron your stay, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just continue with the video. So we have 1.5 folded by 9 inches. Now to work on the zipper fly, all you need to do is fold the trouser like this and bring one part of the 1.5 inches and place underneath so that your zipper will be in between the fabric and your strip of fabric. Your main pants, the zipper is between the main pant and your strip of fabric. To work on the other side, first you're going to bring the trouser and your strip of fabric together and you join. So you're going to top stitch on the piece of fabric, not on your trouser. Top stitch on the strip of fabric in order to control the extra fabric that you have joined. So it turns in automatically, yes, just to create that effect. Now make sure you adjust your pants to place this very well. You can hold it down with your pin. Now turn it over. Open up the zipper in order to join the other side of the zipper. So we're going to pick just the other side of your zipper and the fabric, the piece of fabric that you've attached, and we are going to join. So I'm taking that again for a better understanding. Here is the front. Turn it over, then open up your zipper. So we are picking just the strip of fabric and the other side of the zipper to join. Now let's see. Now we are going to top stitch on the front part of our zip flare. Now while joining, you have to be sure you do not sew on the other part, the other strip of fabric, the one that you have joined earlier. Okay, you should be able to see clearly from here. Now you have to push this away from whatever you're going to sew. Push it away so you don't sew on it. Now this has been done. You can make it twice, like a double sewing if you want, and you can leave it once. That's your choice. It has nothing to do with the zipper that you have fixed. So much more like we are done with the zipper fly. Now here are my belt holes. So it's just the measurement of 3 inches or 3.5 inches, and I'll be needing 8 of these, 8 pieces. Now to fix the band, I'm going to start from one side of the fabric. Remember to leave space here at the front to turn it inside out, and we are going to join. So as I join, I'll fix my belt holes alongside. So you can just measure up to 4 inches between each holes, each space that you're creating. Now we are going to close the 2 edges, then we'll top stitch on the band. So just on the band inside out and top stitch on it. Now we are going to be top stitching on our belt holes. Just fold the edges in and top stitch on it. Now we're going to just fold the base of your trouser. I'm folding with 2 inches. I'm going to bring out the lower tie and the upper tie, and I guess that is going to be the end of our sewing. If you find this tutorial interesting, click the subscribe button, leave your comments in the comment section. I'll be there to answer all of your comments, and in case you have questions, you can leave it at the comment section as well. Remember to hit the subscribe button as well to get notified for all my upcoming tutorials. I still remain Simeon Grace. Go ahead and make yours. Ask questions if you need to, and leave your comments at the comment section. So just measure the lower tie divided by 2, the upper tie divided by 2, and make sure your crotch points aligns. Then you continue.